There seems to be maybe 3 possible suspects in the Tara Baker case that are not the person who actually got convicted. And they're all white. Just putting that out there. Obviously, for something like this to be covered up, you have to sort of look at what's the motivation behind it, and also it probably has to be someone who has a little bit of power in the community and connections. Maybe a lawyer or a son of an honourable judge, or statistically it's most likely to be an intimate partner or an ex-intimate partner. Let's have a look at the connections. This guy worked at the same firm that Tara worked at in Athens in 2001. This is a list of the DNA samples that the police actually had, and I'm assuming that they had this list of samples from the beginning, because some of these people moved out of state in 2001. The politician involved in passing the Coleman-Baker Act, his uncle was actually the ex-boyfriend of another victim, Jenny Stone, in 1992. That's also unsolved, by the way. Judge Joseph Gaines is the grandfather of this guy and the father of the ex-boyfriend of Jenny Stone. Judge Gaines passed away in 2007. This is Jenny Stone, and her unsolved homicide wasn't actually listed on the previous page, which is a little bit suspicious, if you ask me. This guy was a defence attorney in the area in the 90s. He recognised the corruption, and I don't think anybody liked it. So he ended up being busted for trafficking and being sentenced to 15 years in prison. The raid in which they found the stuff happened in 1996, which is around the time that Scott was actually trying to get the case file information on the Jenny Stone murder. Mike Gaines was married, and his marriage was annulled in 1992 after what happened to Jenny Stone. Scott McLarty had actually found out that Mike Gaines had the documents released to his lawyer, but they wouldn't release them to McLarty. That was the person who was seen, a white guy. All of these 3 dudes are white guys. The only thing stolen was a laptop, so there must be stuff on there that somebody didn't want to be seen. At the time, investigators identified at least 3 possible suspects. This guy worked for bankruptcy judges Stephen Massey and A. David Kahn on the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Northern District of Georgia. Pretty powerful people. This guy worked on the case in 2006, 2007. Worked on the case, I say. He read some case files. There was 2 detectives, Sean Potter and Courtney Gale. They were the 2 detectives that were assigned to Tara's case in, I think it was around 2005 to 2006. They're the ones that, I guess, ordered the mitochondrial DNA tests that I showed before. Sean Potter is no longer with us. Courtney Gale was stabbed and almost died in 2007, a couple of months after Sean Potter died. And it looks like they were actually putting work into the investigation, whereas this guy, he seems like he might be one of the club, you know. He kind of fits into that demographic. And that's kind of the vibe I got from him, allegedly. So, who knows? He's the only one still around, though. Tara's dad was happy when Sean Potter and Courtney Gale were assigned the case because he felt like they actually cared and were doing something. But the police department didn't really want any extra help, it seems. This is the ex-boyfriend. Statistically, it's likely that he was the perpetrator. If you watched the trial and saw his behaviour on the stand, you would probably be, I don't know, a little bit suspicious maybe. His DNA was also everywhere. He was never arrested. Apparently he had an alibi that no one really checked. He was at a bank at 9 a.m. or 9:08. That was far away from Tara's apartment. However, the original reports say that the guy was running away from the scene at 7 a.m, so possibly, allegedly, it could have been him still. I guess the thing with him is, I don't know if he's got any connections. So if we're talking about power, being, power and people in high up places, then I don't know about him. But it just seems weird that his DNA plus another person's DNA who was not identified was found on the original swabs. Oh, and of course Edrick's as well. Who knows how that got there? But yeah, there was the unidentified one. So who is it? Who is the unidentified one? I don't know.